has never happened in the history of New York City.
The mayor's critics are lining up, demanding that City Hall reverse course.
We're standing up for the people.
Teachers Union President Michael Mulgrew insists that proposed cuts to education are devastating and unnecessary.
They have $8 billion in reserves, and they keep making up these numbers. So we need to hold the mayor and the budget director accountable. You will not fabricate this fraud upon this city. We will not stand by and allow people to be harmed.
The city's revised budget will impact New York's universal preschool and summer school programs, and class sizes will rise. Most libraries will close on Sundays.
Every single economic indicator shows that actually we're on pace to a recovery. Where's the money?
Where is it?
Where's the money that our children need, that our seniors need, that everybody in between needs?
Mayor Adams claims that much of the money, billions of dollars of it, is being spent to cover the needs of tens of thousands of migrants pouring into New York.
The asylum seeker humanitarian crises have skyrocketed, placing great strain on our budget.
The revised budget calls for deep cuts at the NYPD. Postponing 5 academy graduations will shrink the department by 13.5%, leaving fewer officers on the street while saving $1.1 billion. Sanitation collections will be scaled back, and overtime will be cut at the FDNY. Comptroller Brad Lander admits that the deficits are real, but says the mayor's plan for across-the-board cuts is irresponsible.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently. That's okay. Things are going to be okay.
Everything breaks at the seams, and you feel like you're losing belief.
Well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong when it all falls apart and goes wrong. When you feel let down and so lost, and it feels like you can't hold on. Well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong, 'cause sometimes things go wrong, and one day everything's gone, but you can make it out and move on. So damn it, you just gotta stay strong.
What's it say from Mayor Adams? You are failing this city. It is right. He is. If you've not kept up with the news or some of the stories we've brought to you here on Man with the Show, Mayor Eric Adams, he's in a lot of trouble. He's in a lot of major trouble. He's being investigated right now for campaign finance violations toward his election, money that's come from construction companies that have connections to the country of Turkey. Right now, he hasn't been formally charged, but he has hired legal representation because he knows that is coming, because there is more and more evidence that has been put forward as far as that. He's facing sex allegations from many years ago. And the cherry to top the sundae, the failing administration policies that have literally damaged New York City in all of our boroughs. And what has he blamed it on? He blamed it on the illegal migrants that basically it's their fault, which it is partially to the situation, but it is city policy that's allowing this. That, remember, it's Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams were welcoming these people in, but not realizing that it would cause damage to our city itself, from financing to crime situations, safety issues. This is what's been going on for quite some time now. And you look back at the situation, it's a lot more than that. And like I said, this is to the point where his policies has hurt. He's cutting 5% of the budgets from everything from sanitation to education. And he has created some concessions on the unions and negotiations that is literally just insane. There's an opinion piece in the New York Post just recently by Betsy McCall. It is not migrants. Saving New York City requires union concessions. When the public complains about announcing cuts to the police protection and garbage collection, Mayor Eric Adams weasels back as, "Don't yell at me, yell at DC." Adams is trying to shift the blame to President Biden and the Democrats' open border policy. Don't fall for it. The surge of migrants account for less than half, 42%, of the city's looming financial crisis. New York was heading off a fiscal cliff before the surge, which is correct. Adams' predecessor, Splendaholic Bill de Blasio, is partly to blame, but Adams worsened the crisis by negotiating insane labor contracts, especially with the teachers' union that the city can't afford. It is transparent. It is a transparent attempt by Adams to lock in big labor's support for his own mayor re-election. Never mind that he's selling out city residents. New Yorkers are getting ripped off. Wallet Hub's best and worst run cities in America ranks New York at a dismal 148 out of 149 in spending per capita to provide basic services. Only San Francisco scores worse. Gotham isn't the cleanest city or the safest, and it doesn't offer the best public schools. Yet New York City taxpayers pay top dollar thanks to a succession of pandering polls. Gotham, for example, provides any municipal employee who puts in 10 years health insurance premium of 100% paid for with no cost sharing for life. Even after the person leaves city employment, unheard of anywhere else. As far back as September 2022, the Big Apple's financial situation was smelling rotten. Adams promised the State Financial Control Board that he would not make any deals that the city can't afford. In June, Adams broke that promise when he negotiated a contract with the United Federation of Teachers that dooms the cities to fiscal failure. The Department of Education accounts for more than a third of the city's spending and staggering 46% of the city employees' headcount. New York cannot recover without a fiscal discipline at the DOE. The DOE already spends $38,000 per student. Repeat that. The Department of Education already spends $38,000 per student, more than any other U.S. school district. What has that bought? National Assessment of Education Progress scores are below the national average and moving in the wrong direction. The DOE budget soars while enrollment is plummeting. Even so, Adams agreed to a UFT contract that awards 20% pay hikes over 5 years, pushing salaries to a record $150,000 for teachers on the job the longest. Adams extracted no work rule concessions, such as an additional instructional line to benefit the kids or make the contract affordable. He even added a cherry atop of this cream puff deal, a $3,000 ratification bonus for each teacher. The mayor lines up support for his re-election and the New York residents to pick up the tab. That's the Adams playbook. In October, he did it again, signing a juicy deal with the principals union with a 17% pay raise over 5 years, budget be damned. Weeks later, State Controller Tom DiNapoli and Citizens Budget Commission head Andrew Ryan called the city's financial situation alarming. What's more alarming is how the city's elected leaders are reacting. City Controller Brad Lander calls for tax hikes on high-income residents and the owners of high-value real estate. It ain't going to be the high people because basically it's going to trickle down to the middle class and low income. This would ignite a rush to the exits by the city's wealthiest taxpayers. Adams calls for across-the-board cuts in all city agencies, including police and sanitation. That is misguided too. It would shrink the police force to its lowest level since the 1990s. It would also mean fewer pickups from litter baskets on the streets. Safety and cleanliness would plummet. It's already here as far as that. A robot can make across-the-board cut. The mayor needs to prioritize. Adams has announced the second and third round of budget cuts might exempt police, fire, and sanitation. In fact, he should reverse the initial cuts to those departments and take an axe to the spending that insults the public's intelligence, including free child care for undocumented families, the so-called Promise Program. The move is on to the budget buster, the teachers' union. Adams needs to demand concessions from the UFT or surrender his job to someone who will. New Yorkers shouldn't be forced to settle for the dirty streets, and the crime polls invite union members to ride the gravy train. Now, if you're not familiar who Betsy McCaughey is, she is a former lieutenant governor of New York. And she's right on many different levels to this situation. You have situations that are going by. They're spending money left and right to pay certain things up and down the city. And the right things that should be paid for are not being paid for. You know, infrastructure is one of the major problems that we have in New York. We just bought multiple railway cars, brand new stuff on there. A lot of them have been taken off service due to mechanical issues. Have we paid off that bill? Because that's a lot of money for those cars. Also, we have bought $1,000 garbage cans. I think we bought three. New York City's bought so far 300 at $1,000 a pop. Why? Why spend $1,000 on a metal garbage can? You could find these a lot cheaper. And especially online, you could get a good deal on garbage cans. You know, they say, well, we need these fancy garbage cans. We don't need fancy garbage cans. They're garbage cans. People throw garbage on them. They're not going to last a year. Trust me, they're going to be beaten in. What was wrong with the basic green cans? You're just adding more work to the sanitation. You know, the garbage goes in, gets picked up, thrown into the back of the garbage truck, and put back down. And let's not even get into the robots that were put in down below on the subway. How much did they spend for that? Oh, they spent a lot for those. Whether they bought them or rented them. That's costing money. Those kind of budget things should be, eliminated. Stay with the garbage cans we have now. If we need to replace some of the garbage cans on there, buy the cheaper ones. Fancying up the garbage cans is not cleaning up the city. Putting robots, which someone could end up freaking drop kicking down the stairs or drop kicking in front of the freaking IRT train, is not protecting the citizens of New York. We need better roads. We need better transportation, better education. We have a situation where we have homeless people on the streets. And I'm not talking the illegal migrants. We're talking people that are New Yorkers, American citizens, that are being tossed out of homeless shelters. There is a picture out with Curtis Lewa. Yeah, I know. He's running for mayor again. And he talks about a 9-month pregnant woman that was tossed out of a Coney Island shelter. So they'd be able to bring in illegal migrants to replace her, who happens to be pregnant, that will be giving birth to a child, and probably most likely giving birth to that child in the street. And we're just now hitting to colder temperatures. Will that child survive? I hope so. Because we are at a point where, let's put it this way. You've spent money to open up these tent shelters for the illegal migrants, and they don't want it. They want to stay in the freaking high-end hotels, the 5-star hotels. Where are tourists going to stay? I have friends and family members who work in the hotel industry, and they're saying that situations like this have hurt the hotel industry in New York City. A lot of these illegal migrants should not even be here. You know, they say, well, it's families that here. If you're in New York, go take a walk down to the Roosevelt Hotel. Look how many are single men that are there. This is not a lot. A lot of them are not families. Most of these are men that are here from either a Latin country, China, or Africa, and the Mideast. Forgot the Mideast there too. But a good chunk of them are from Africa. They left Africa. They said, "Oh yeah, we're getting away from all that." Yeah, there are situations on there, but they made it as far as Brazil. Why didn't they stay in Brazil? Why didn't they seek sanctuary in Brazil? Why didn't they seek sanctuary in any country from in South America up to Mexico? No, they went rickshaw right into the United States. See, this is why we had was it Title 42? Was it Title 42 that there was on there from President Trump? That blocked people from coming in, that they had to go through the legal way to get into the U.S. And the thing about it is they try to change the words. They change the words to this situation. Say, well, they're not illegal. They're you don't know. What's happening in New York right now is a repeat. And I'm telling you, this is a repeat of the 1980 Mariana boat lift. Did you know what happened during Thanksgiving? Did you catch what, because a lot of the news media didn't carry this. Some of the local did. A lot of the people that are basically on SNAP, that are living paycheck to paycheck and all that they normally get a meal for Thanksgiving from certain groups and stuff like that. Guess what? A lot of it was gone by illegal migrants before they were able to get online. Yeah, that's right. A lot of the food pantries that were there to help people that are American citizens, they lost out on food. Now, you say to yourself, well, these people, they're hungry and stuff like that. Yeah, that's right. But the thing about it is, they're running rickshaw into all these pantries, in NYCHA and all other places, the projects. And, what about the people that live there? What about the people that have already been there legally? Those who came into this country legally who are living there as well. Aren't they supposed to get food? This is what happened in the 1980s in Mariana. The minority community suffered.
The arrival of tens of thousands of Marielitos in Miami in the spring and summer of 1980 displaced many African Americans who overnight saw themselves competing for the same jobs and social services. But it wasn't just Marielitos hopping on boats to make it to South Florida. Neighboring Haiti, also ruled by a dynastic dictatorship, led thousands of so-called boat people to take to the Atlantic in rickety crafts to make it to America.
As funds food and everything was allocated to the people that were coming in illegally into this country. Crime went up. You know, there were riots. There were situations that, you know, and many people that, you know, lived through that era will tell you, you know, people got screwed over. The people of Florida got screwed over royally, especially those who lived in places like Carol City and Liberty City, you know, where a lot of poor minorities lived in. And still, to this day, they do. Nothing has changed that much in Carol City or Liberty City. But this is what's happening. Once again, another mayor that's not doing his job. That possibly may have been funded by another country to his election. You know, that has to be done, taken care of in an investigation in court. But the way things are going, and the people that have been arrested, that have gone to jail for the, you know, for campaign finance violations, you know, you got to ask your question, where's this money coming from? Where's the money on there? And he says, no, it's not that, and stuff like that. The best thing for Adams to do is to step down. And, you know, that's the one major thing. Things are not getting done in New York. This is why Staten Island wants to succeed again. They're pushing to succeed from New York City. They don't want to be part of this anymore. They're tired of it. You know, they tried rickshawing, you know, people into, you know, illegal migrants into schools here that basically weren't up to fire code. Yeah, that's right. They were putting you know, illegal migrants into places which were fire traps. Thank God nothing has happened to that situation. Thank God. And for them to try to use it for homeless people, fix it first before you do that. New York needs to be saved. We are at a point. I grew up, you know, during the problems of the 70s and 80s. Compared to that, today is just a lot worse to the situation. And considering that, you know, we have, you know, what they did to the New York Public Library, you know, what the shutdowns of certain bridge points by protesters, how Fifth Avenue and certain other places were wrecked by Antifa protesters, BLM protesters, and nothing to be done as far as protecting the property and the city and the residents of New York City. You want to protest, you protest peacefully. You don't burn things down. You don't make marks on, you know, monuments and libraries and people's homes, or break into businesses, whether it's corporate or independent. You know, this is things that, you know, New York needs to continue on. If you don't like the policies of another country on there, go move to that country and handle it yourself. These, you know, a lot of these protesters are paid protesters. These are not, you know, you have some that are of a particular country. Others are people that are misinformed or paid protesters or part of Antifa and many others that are going to cause trouble. Radical groups that are going to cause trouble in these cities, especially in New York. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts about this. I mean, do you think Mayor Eric Adams should step down, or basically fix what, you know, he has damaged further than from Bill de Blasio and before Bill as well? You know, these are situations that have been going on for quite some time now. So stay strong, question, educate yourself, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching. Before you go, please comment, like, and share this video. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe as this helps the reach of our channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have that ability to help support this and many other channels. Especially now more than ever since the passing of a new law in the United Kingdom that will diminish the reach of many channels and affect our advertisers. If you wish to help grow this channel by financial support, you have two ways. There are two links in the description below. The first will send you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will send you to our gear store where you can purchase t-shirt, mugs, and other specialty items. Any additional discounts will be listed on the main page. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.